Hi, this is Mickey from mickey'scardsandcats.blogspot.com, and I'd like to do my first tutorial on my first ATC. Now, I don't know why I think I can do a tutorial on my first ATC, but I'm going to do it anyway. I cut this card out of chipboard at my local scrapbook store. They have a die cut of their AccuCut machine, and it's an ATC card. So cut a bunch out. And I bought this roll of packaging tape for 50 cents at my local thrift store. And at first I tried to tear it, but it's really hard to tear because it has these strings in it. So I just cut it. And I wadded it up to give it some texture. And then I used my mini mister to spritz the back of it. And also I spritzed my heat mat and rubbed it on there like that. And I adhered it to the card. And it looks something like this. It sticks really well. So then I took, for my first alteration, I used peel paint, and I just applied direct to, whatever it's called, pad, direct to paper, and I rubbed it on a light touch so that it would give it some texture. And you can see how it catches all those strings and things in the tape. The next thing I did was I used this Stampscape stamp. It is Tree Trunk 087F, and I just used about this much of it to, let me find it, there it is, stamp on the card. And I think I used either Vintage Photo or Memento Brown, I can't remember. And stamped the tree trunk. Yes, Mr. Binks. And the next thing I did was I edged it in Rusty Hinge around the card, like that. The next thing I did was I took some evergreen and mustard seed embossing powder. This is distressed embossing powder. And I mixed it together to give me a, get rid of that, a greenish yellow embossing powder. And I embossed, well, can't find that, there it is. My example, I should be better organized. I was the first time I tried to record this. And so I embossed some moss, and how I did that was I took my embossing pen. Oh, first thing I did, sorry, was I used this stamp. It's a dot stamp I got for 50 cents at the thrift store. It's an imagination stamp. And it's just got these little dots on it. And I put it in embossing, on an embossing pad, and I masked off around the tree trunk like this, and like this. And I stamped the dots on. And then I embossed it. And then I went in with this embossing pen and I embossed some more to give me that mossy look, like there's moss growing on it. The next thing I did was I took this grapevine wreath floral wire and I cut off a piece, and I took the wire out, discarded it, and I unrolled it a little. I took some Mod Podge glue or glossy, I think it was Mod Podge, and I glued it on the bottom like that to make it look like there was some natural brush on the bottom of the forest. And I also took a history book, an old vintage history book, and it had a section on the natural parks, and it was talking about trees and nature and stuff like that. And I distressed it, I tore some out, and I Mod Podged it on, decoupaged it on the card. I did that before I put the ribbony stuff on the bottom. So then, the next thing I did was I took a paper towel roll, I tore it into a small piece, I put it rubbed it on the embossing pad, and I stamped this Trek stamp on it. And I used clear embossing powder over that, and it turned into this. And then I used my Crop-A-Dile, I punched a hole, and I put a little button brad on there. And this is my first ATC. So I hope you like it. Thanks, bye.